Hello and welcome to Behind Every Successful Leader, where we celebrate the power of virtual support in business growth. I'm Holly Copsey, founder of Virtually Priceless and the Visionary VA Circle, and I want to highlight the incredible impact VAs have in making businesses more successful. My guest today is Michelle Morgan, and her business is the Restorative Practice Training and Consultancy. I'm still struggling to say that word.
I'm so sorry, Holly. It's a mouthful. You can say RPTC if you want, and I'll tell you what it stands for.
Michelle is a seasoned educator, trainer, and restorative conference facilitator with over 20 years of experience in the education sector. Passionate about humanising organisations, Michelle specialises in RP that transform relationships, improves engagement, and drives cultural change. Having successfully implemented restorative approaches in an inner city academy with a team of peers, resulting in reducing fixed-term exclusions by 51% and supporting students at risk of permanent exclusion to remain in school, Michelle now shares her expertise with schools and workplaces, helping leaders foster transparency, conflict resolution, and meaningful connections. Her engaging and practical approach equips individuals and teams with the skills to create positive, people-focused environments. Michelle, thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you so much for having me, Holly.
And I'm sorry I can't pronounce your work.
Don't worry. Call it RP. It makes it easier. I'm smiling away because I'm thinking, that's a good bio, isn't it? I wonder who wrote that.
That's great.
My virtual assistant, my PA.
Oh, so to get us started, could you please share a little bit more about what activities you personally have to undertake day to day within your business?
Yes. So it's a very mixed day quite often. I did a LinkedIn post the other day that kind of talked through a typical day. So in the morning, I delivered a parent session for a training organisation. That was an hour-long session. Then straight onto a business inquiry that had been set up by Julie, my PA. Then onto then a call about a restorative conference. So meeting with a school and a local authority advisor and having a conversation about whether we could support a child who's in crisis through the use of restorative conference. Then what was the afternoon? I think that was all by, before lunchtime really. And then the afternoon, some more calls, maybe a training session or two might be thrown in to an afternoon. So quite often do online sessions. I do online and face-to-face, but quite often do twilight sessions for schools all over the country and actually the world. So and then into taxi mode, picking up children from school. So it's trying to squeeze all of those different things in probably a window of 4 or 5 hours. So you've done the drop off, into business mode, do the pickup. So
it's an action-packed day, and you're milking every moment.
Yeah, absolutely.
So at what point in your business journey did you realise you needed to bring in some virtual support, and how did you find your fantastic VA, Julie Bedson?
So during lockdown, it was actually. So what happened was, I don't think many people can say that COVID's the best thing that's happened to their business, but that was the case for me because I was previously delivering face-to-face training in schools. But my background in teaching, I was an IT teacher, so I kind of knew how to use a lot of the tools that people ended up, Zoom, Teams, Google Meet, those type of tools to allow you to deliver training online. So I've started just to break up the whole day training sessions into these masterclass sessions. And as part of that, I work for another organisation, 360 Degree Society, doing little bits of work as well. And we started doing some skills sharing. And one of the things that we did, which I'd done years ago when I was in university, was a Myers-Briggs personality type test and discovered my preferences. And it was like a light bulb moment. I was like, oh my goodness, I'm absolutely dreadful at organising, looking at dates, calendars, seeing the detail, and actually, just booking a train, I'd need to lie down for half an hour afterwards because I'd be like, did I get it right? And invariably, no would be the answer. So I was like, I actually could do with finding somebody else to do the jobs I hate. So I described it, didn't I, in the kind of pre-interview conversation about Julie's like Mr. Muscle to me. She loves the jobs I hate, because what I discovered doing the Myers-Briggs personality test was there's actually people out there who love doing the things I hate. And Julie is one of them, and actually excel at that level of detail and just have a completely different brain and a completely different preference. So I thought, and actually, Julie and I were friends before she became a virtual PA and kind of set up on her own. I was like, right, well, we need to do something here because you know what I love and I know what you love, and let's just put together. So what we did was, I said, I'll write a masterclass and you promote him, and we'll see, keep a log of your time, and we'll go 70-30 on whatever whatever income we make from it, and then we'll compare that to how much time you actually took to do it, and off we went. So I wrote a chopped down intro to restorative practice masterclass, made a flyer for it, and Julie got 16 schools signed up for it. So wow. 16 schools, £100 a school, 2-hour session. We were like, we're onto something here. Yeah. So, and then when she calculated the actual time that she'd taken and what her rate would have been, she was like, that would have, it kind of balanced out. So we then were like, okay, there's definitely a way that we can continue to work together. So it just grew from that, really.
Yeah, amazing. That's a really great way to test the water, isn't it? So what kind of tasks does Julie handle for you now?
Everything. Everything. So from writing that bio, I mean, she took it obviously off the website, and we worked together a lot on things, but so she does all the diary bookings. She does goodness me, I'm just trying to think what I do. It'd probably be easier to tell you what I do, and then everything else is Julie, because I get to go and so last week I was down in Surrey delivering some training, so I've just got absolute complete faith that everything I need, including the agenda for the day, the times of the trains that I need to get, will be in place, so I can literally, because I'm a very much a now and not now type of person. So I know exactly what I'm doing now, and I'm actually, if I'm totally honest, I'm not sure what I'm doing after lunch. But all I have to do is look at my diary, and I'll know, if I'm going somewhere, I've got the travel time booked in. There's a if it's a call, there's a breakdown of exactly where it's come from, what they're looking for. Honestly, she does everything.
Amazing.
And I'm looking for a new house. So I haven't actually put that one on a list. But, even to the point, in all seriousness, when we were trying to find secondary schools for our daughter, so you do me a favour and just give me a list of them all and find how, the distance as the crow flies. And before I knew it, I had a spreadsheet that was better than I'd even imagined could be. So a lot and everything.
So it sounds like a lot of logistical arrangements and research and just anything that's going to save you time.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Fantastic. So how has having a VA changed the way you work or helped you grow the business?
I think it's changed. I love working with people. So it's just lovely to have somebody to bounce things off as well. It's changed the way I work in many ways, actually. I'm just thinking as well, because when you make your passion your purpose, which I've done, my passion is being kind, essentially, and helping people to grow kind cultures and putting people at the heart of everything that we do, and being really focused on relationships and developing those tools in everybody, not just children and young people, but whole families and communities. You kind of give away a lot for nothing. And one of the things I was doing is, somebody, because quite often, for example, the call I had the other day was a little boy who'd been in a refugee camp for 6 years, and his trauma was playing out in his behaviour at school. So obviously I was like, well, I'll do that for nothing. That's, and I will continue to do those kinds of voluntary roles, because it's about giving back as well. Yeah. But before Julie, I probably did an awful lot more for nothing. She's made me be very business minded about yes, you can make your passion your purpose, but you also have to make some money.
Yeah.
So I think she's helped me to change that. And now I'll say, Julie, I've had this conversation, and just hear me out, because I've said I'm going to do this for this. And she's like, it's obviously it's your business and you do what you want. But she's helped me with the pricing structure. She's helped me, actually know the value and the worth in comparison to what other people are delivering from a business point of view, but also is able to help me kind of be a bit more business minded, I would say.
So it's so much more than a PA role, isn't it? It's a real strategic partnership.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, incredible. So what would you say to any business owners who might be unsure about using virtual support?
My goodness, just do it. Honestly, it's. I feel like it's a little bit like Dragon's Den, when people go in with this wonderful idea, and then they say, "Yeah, but we'll take 50% of your business." Like, give it, because what you will gain is doing more of what you love, and it'll free up the time. I mean, obviously if admin and all that stuff that I've just described is the thing that you love, then maybe that's your job that you should be doing. But it will just free you up to do what you really, really love. So it's an absolute investment. It's not, it doesn't, I don't see having Julie doing all of that as a cost. I see it as an investment that allows me to focus on growing the business, me to focus on the people side of it, and the stuff that I'm passionate about.
Oh, love that. That's fantastic. And what would you say your top tips are for working effectively with a VA?
I think the communication is key. And I think the nature of the work that we do as a training organisation it's about having open and honest conversations. So, and it's like an unwritten language. When you understand compassionate communication, and when you understand restorative practice, which is essentially about what we do when things have gone wrong, it's a set of questions. So there's two parts to restorative practice. There's all the proactive, preventative, community building stuff, and there's 20% of what we do when we deliver training is teaching you how to have a difficult conversation. So because we do that day in, day out, and teach other people how to do it, we know how to do it ourselves. So we never let anything, there's a little niggle, say, have you got a minute? And those moments you're like, okay, right, what have I done? What have I said? But being able to have difficult conversations, especially actually because it's quite a unique place that I'm in, because Julie and I are friends as well, and we're friends. Well, we were colleagues, then we both had children at the same time, went off on maternity leave together, and became, very close friends. Didn't see each other for a few years, as that happens when your children are growing and you're not working in the same place anymore. But we had that foundation first of all. And some people say never work with friends or family, but actually you can work with anybody if you have a dialogue and you have a process and you have a structure for having those difficult conversations. So did you ask for 10 top tips? Or did
No.
I just imagine
No.
that? Okay.
Just top
Open
tips.
and honest communication. Challenge each other. You don't want just to be. I suppose it feels more, as you say, than I described Julie as my business manager. So it's more than a virtual assistant kind of relationship, but it's important to have that open and honest discussion and challenge and
definitely and to have those boundaries in place when you've got a friendship and a business relationship as well, that you separate the two and make time for both.
Absolutely. Definitely.
Brilliant. So if Julie's watching this, what would you like to say to her?
What am I doing this afternoon, please, Julie? That'd be my first question. Just thank you, and keep going. You're an absolute, joy to work with. You brought. I say it to her quite regularly. I don't know what to do without you. Literally, don't know what to do without you. Well, I do know what to do without you, which is probably about 10% of what I do now. So just a big, massive thank you, Julie.
Oh, fantastic. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to chat today. Really, really appreciate it. We'll share all your social links, obviously, when the post goes out, but where is the best place for people to connect with you if they want to learn more about your business?
Get in touch with Julie. So you can email admin@restorative-practice.co.uk, or you can use the contact us form on the website, which is www.restorative-practice.co.uk.
Fabulous. Thank you so much. It's been an absolute pleasure.
Oh, likewise. Thank you, Holly. Have a lovely day.
Thanks.
Take care.